Why are the Mary Jane missions so good? Okay, so there's the hilarious part, and then there's the in all seriousness part. So the hilarious part is people shit on the Mary Jane missions from the first Spider-Man game a lot. Like, goddamn, because they were fucking terrible. There was a reason as to why like everyone was in complete fucking agreement during the first PlayStation 4 Spider-Man game. Um because they were horrible. Sneaking was horrible, playing as Mary Jane was horrible. It felt really bad in comparison to basically web slinging and playing as Spider-Man. Um with the Mary Jane missions that we got now, it really didn't have anything to do with the Spider-Man gameplay. The Spider-Man gameplay and the Miles Morales gameplay, I feel as though have officially reached their zenith. They're at their peak. There are a few tweaks that should be made about the way in which the character moves, especially when the character's on a wall. I feel as though the wall crawling aspects in certain scenarios just doesn't feel as fluid and dynamic like the web slinging aspect of the game. But for the most part, just web slinging around a Spider-Man, fighting villains, um, shooting the web lines, which feel absolutely fantastic, webbing people up, taking out entire fucking squadrons of enemies without them even realizing that you were there during nighttime feels great. What essentially changed with the Mary Jane missions is that they offer a different perspective. And what I mean by that is, for the most part, throughout the entire game, you're either playing as Miles or you're playing as Peter. And you're super powered, and you can take multiple fucking hits, and you have multiple different ways to get out of a scenario or to eliminate an enemy. Do I drop down from the ceiling and web him up? Do I just drop down and beat the hell out of him? Do I fly down and knock him out? Like, you have different ways to approach a situation. The Mary Jane missions are basically Assassin's Creed. They're basically Assassin's Creed mixed with The Last of Us, and then a little bit of Dead Space towards the end once you start running into like the Venom missions, where she can only take two hits. Two hits. Later on, there's a mission with the symbiotes where it's the same thing. If a regular symbiote hits you, she can only take two hits and then she's dead. And then if the big symbiote hits you, you're just dead. Like, you're not gonna survive two hits from that big guy. He instantaneously debates you and kills you as soon as he hits you. But for the most part, it's the stealth mechanics, the way in which you can approach a situation. Do I sneak up behind this guy and knock this person out? Do I just sneak directly past them? Do I go this way? Do I go that way? Do I go get that thing first? Do I go get this thing first? And I know that there were some complaints from my main review about people talking about uh the the fact that, like, she's taking out people with essentially just one hit from the stun gun. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. What's not supposed to be is the fact that anyone Spider-Man hits requires more than one punch. We're talking about a guy who can hit the Hulk into suborbit with an uppercut at full strength if he was serious. The fact that you have these humans, the only person who's superpowered is Craven. The fact that you have humans that Peter or Miles hits, who can survive what, 8 hit combo before they fall down on the ground. That's gameplay mechanics. For the most part, when Miles and Peter land down, they're one tapping everyone. It's the point of the game to basically make you feel as though you're doing some cool shit instead of basically running around as One Punch Man until you run into like Venom or until you run into like Craven. But for Mary Jane running around hitting a human being with a stun gun on like their fucking neck, especially set to like a maximum setting, yes. The best mission in my opinion is the mission where she's chasing after Peter to try and wake him up because Venom's basically in control. That was the beginning of Dead Space. The stress and tension that I felt in that scene was fantastic. Like, in Insomniac needs a pat on the fucking back for the way in which they designed that mission, because you really feel as though at any moment, if she does anything wrong, Venom will fucking kill her instantaneously without any hesitation. Venom will instantly debate her and send her to the fucking Shadow Realm. The Tony Todd does a fantastic job with Venom's voice, where Peter wakes up for a second and he says Mary Jane, and then as he's saying run, it goes into Venom's voice, chills down my fucking spine. And then she runs off and she gets away. The very last mission where they put the sound dampener on the guns and she's running around like John Wick down there, just popping everyone as they come around the fucking corner. Also fucking top tier and fantastic. It's fun. You don't have to put too much fucking thought into it. It's a comic book video game. You're supposed to suspend disbelief about what you're seeing and what you're doing. You're dealing with a fucking guy who can climb up walls and lift cars like they're fucking nothing and throw them, who has a living alien symbiote on his body. But the point at which you suspend disbelief and it starts to irritate you is that, you know, a regular fucking person who's basically teched out with a really high tech weapon is taking down symbiotes using their weakness in order to arrive at their objective. I thought the missions were fucking great. They're way better than the missions we got in the first Spider-Man game. And they are absolutely fucking fantastic in this game. Some of the best fun that I had. Sneaking through Craven's zoo, where like she gets jumped by that chick and she fucking knocks her out up against the wall, hits her with the taser, then you have to pretend to be the person on the radio while going around collecting information. Great. Fucking loved it. The like I said, my favorite one is the mission where Venom is asleep and you're basically following her through the you're following Peter through the tunnel, because I remember when I was playing that and she was like, Miles, I need you to collapse the tunnel, I have to wake Peter up. I was like, this is a horrible idea that's probably gonna get you killed. And then sure enough, it does almost get her killed. And then of course the very final mission where she's running around as John Wick in the sewer taking out the symbiotes and getting the thing, like, great. I love them. Like I want more. I wouldn't mind spin-offs for everybody. Venom gets a spin-off, Craven gets a spin-off, Miles gets another game, Peter of course gets his fucking sequel, Carnage comes back, everybody gets a spin-off. Mary Jane gets a fucking a spin-off where she basically turns into Sam Fisher from fucking Splinter Cell. I want to know how effective Silver Sable's training actually is. Because Silver Sable only really trained Mary Jane for like 6 months or some shit, when her and Peter basically she got trained by Silver Sable during that time she was overseas with Peter in the Miles Morales game. How effective is that training? Because she went over there as just like this geeky redhead and then came back as Bruce Wayne. It's fucking insane. But yeah, it's an absolute blast and I love it.